What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with Dilly Vanilli. We are here for our NFL Week 14 preview and predictions part 2, because part number 1, if you guys were here for it, it cut off and never really worked, and Google screwed us, and YouTube doesn't want to see us shine, so they shut us right down. Roger Goodell, I don't know what it was, okay? Conspiracy theories flying out the window here, but we are back, and we are going to give it another try. We're going to give you our Week 14 picks for this NFL season. And first off, Dilly, we need to get to the standings, and then we also need to talk about the Thursday night football game, which we already picked because we missed it. Typically, we pick on Wednesdays, but we missed it.
Yes, so we'll get into the standings for Week 13 and everything else. Actually, let me pull up Week 13 standings. Okay, so for Week 13, I went 14-2. The Ravens game and the Seahawks game are the only two I missed. Kev went 11-5. Mitch went 11-5, and AC went 9-7. So currently, AC is still at the top of the leaderboard, 127 wins and 65 losses. I'm behind him with 6 games behind, 121-71. Kev in third place, 113-79. And Mitch is in last, 109-83.
Boo!
But we can all take solace in the fact we all missed the Thursday night game this week between the Saints.
And this was a close one. I almost picked Atlanta, but I just felt and I think the Saints could have easily won this game, obviously. Play at the end of the game, Drew Brees throws an interception. It could have went either way. It was a very good game. I recapped it last night. Hope you guys caught the recap. If you haven't, check it out. But it was a very entertaining game. It could have went either way coming into it, but we all went with the Saints for a weird I was actually surprised that not one person picked Atlanta.
If anybody, I thought Kev would have picked the Falcons, but I was kind of surprised by the outcome. I don't know how Matt Ryan's 2-0 this season, throwing 3 interceptions. I think that's fucking an anomaly. But Kamara getting concussion in the game hurt their chances. Could have had a little bit more explosion.
A lot of injuries in that game yesterday. There were a lot. So let's get into week number 14, besides the Thursday nighter. We want to hear from you guys in the comment section, whether you're live or after the fact. Give us your picks. Talk any comments you have towards what we say, what you think, what's going on, fantasy football-wise, whatever. Leave your comments below. We'll check them out near the end of the video, and maybe in the middle as well. We'll see how time is going and if we need a break. Okay. So let's start off with the first game on Sunday, which will be the Indianapolis Colts versus the Buffalo Bills. I was at the Buffalo Bills game this past Sunday against the New England Patriots, and I will say this. Tyrod Taylor got banged up very early in that game. They struggled a ton on offense to move the ball after that first drive, specifically through the air. They only had about 80 passing yards in the fourth quarter, and I don't think that's going to be the case against the Colts. They're at home. This is actually expected to be a snowstorm. It was snowing today, I believe, this morning. So maybe it will be a snowstorm tomorrow or on Sunday as well. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. But the one thing that the Bills did do good against the Patriots, which the game just got away from them, was run the football with LaShawn McCoy. And I think they'll be able to do that against the Colts. And they should be able to move the football. The Colts defense, look, their secondary is a bunch of no names and cast-offs, right? So I think that the Bills, either way, should be able to move the football. Their defense looked pretty good. It's a tough place to play in Buffalo, snowstorm or not. Tough crowd. They threw dildos on the field once again. And I think the Bills will take this game. Love Jacoby Brissett. And I like the Colts as a story this year, but I think their future is brighter than their present. I just don't see them winning this game right now.
Agreed on that last sentiment. The Bills weren't able to capitalize, or were not able to get anything down the field against the Patriots, but we're comparing the Patriots to the Colts, and the Colts have done dookie. I mean, can you name half the people on defense? Probably not.
Can you name 3? That's the question.
Hooker's out, so no. So yeah, there's not a lot of strong pieces on the Colts defense. We've consistently called them one of the worst defenses in the league. I like Jacoby Brissett myself. NC State. I like the guy and all, but I'm going to go with the Bills. It's the safer pick. They're still trying to keep their focus on getting a playoff position. As bleak as it is, they're still 6-6 and right up there for contention for a wild card. So they got to win this game. A little more important for them, and it's at home field. Definitely going to the Bills. And AC, the good thing about having to do this video twice is we have AC's picks this week.
Yes.
So AC and Kev both have the Bills.
All right. The next game is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Carolina Panthers. This is one of the games of the week. The Panthers just had the Falcons win on Thursday Night Football. The Saints dropped a game. So the Panthers, with a win here, could move very close to moving into first place. And if they lose, then they're concerned about potentially not getting a playoff spot. So this is a huge game, more so for Carolina than it is for Minnesota. But at the same time, I look at this game from a schematic standpoint, and I don't see how the Carolina Panthers are going to get it done here. I watched the tape against the Saints, and Cam Newton just doesn't have enough help on offense. Even without like Lattimore and Crowley at corner for the Saints, it was tough for the Panthers to really move the ball consistently down the field with their passing attack. In this game, it's going to be way tougher. The Vikings are probably the second best defense in the league. They have playmakers at every single tier of their defense. You know, Hunter and Everson Griffin. They have Barr and Kendricks. They have Harrison Smith and Xavier Rhodes. And in this game, I think the Vikings are just going to say, we're going to stop the run. We're not going to let Cam Newton get outside the pocket. We're going to get really close to the line of scrimmage. And, hey, Devin Funchess, can you beat Xavier Rhodes? I don't think that's going to happen. No Greg Olsen. It's not really looking good for the Panthers in terms of offense. Defense, I think they'll be able to slow the Vikings down at times. But I don't think their defense is built the same way as the Vikings in terms of I don't think their defense can really take over a game the same way that Minnesota does. Even though they're on the road, I've been really impressed with the way the Vikings have traveled and have played. And they've beat tough team after tough team after tough team down the stretch. I think they get another win here against a good team in Carolina. I think it will be an entertaining game. It will be a tough game, but I think the Vikings do take it in the end.
Yeah, this is a big matchup. Two teams that are looking for different kind of scenarios. For the Panthers, they want to stay alive in that race for the division. For the Vikings, they're looking for that number 1 seed because they right now are the number 1 seed after the Eagles loss on Sunday night. So this is a big matchup for both in different ways, but I think it's obviously more important for Carolina. I'm going to go with the Vikings. They played really, really well the last couple of weeks against some pretty good teams. They played well against the Falcons. Case Keenum was on fire, 13 for 13 in the second half. Couldn't really do much better. The running game has actually been pretty decent, all things considered, without Dalvin Cook, which has surprised me. They've got the duo of Murray and McKinnon, who have done wonders, not only as a running back threat, but as a receiving threat as well. Thielen's been amazing. Their receiving game, their defensive game stifled the Falcons to only 9 points, and I think they're going to do that again. Or they're going to, make the Carolina offense a lot more, having to use some more creative plays. Maybe McCaffrey does something, but I think the Vikings defense is going to be too much, and the offense has proven that they can do some stuff as well. So Vikings all across the table as well for AC and Kev.
The Chicago Bears take on the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. The Bengals came off a tough loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They really needed that win to keep their playoff hopes alive. It doesn't look like they are going to make the playoffs now. They're pretty much out. They needed that win badly, as I stated. And yeah, they might not be able to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be good enough to win this game. Chicago, typically a weaker team this season on the road. And I think that their secondary is going to have a little bit of issues containing A.J. Green. And I just don't see how the Bears are really going to score a ton of points in this game. They've been having troubles running the ball as consistently as they were earlier in the season when they were picking up their upset wins. Mm-hmm. And Trubisky doesn't have enough targets and really a good enough passing game there in Chicago to make it happen against a pretty good Bengals defense. I think the Bengals will win this one. I think it's going to be probably a 7 to 10 point victory for the Bengals pretty comfortably. But I think they're just going to want to win this game because of what happened against the Steelers. Ioka, I should mention, was suspended for a game, but is not suspended anymore. And also the whole Juju Smith-Schuster situation we'll talk about when we talk about the Steelers. But yeah, I have the Bengals winning this game.
For the Bears, I didn't pick them last week. I picked the 49ers to win. Happy to say I was the only one to do so. The Bears just aren't able to score touchdowns on offense. They got that punt return from Tariq Cohen, which helped. They had one offensive touchdown all the way through the rest of the game, and lost to the 49ers. For the Bengals, they lost a heartbreaker, I would say. For their group, they kind of they made their own mistakes, but they also kind of got screwed on penalties. A lot of penalty yardage, 173, which is the most in a game this season by any team. That kind of really hurt them in a game against Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's a way better team than Chicago. So that's kind of why we all have the Bengals winning this game. AJ Green got 2 touchdowns against the defense that I think is pretty good, and now they're going to go against Chicago. I think he's going to get a lot of threats, a lot of targets, and they're going to be able to make a little bit more plays to beat Chicago. So we all have the Bengals. You are on mute, my guy.
The next game is the Green Bay Packers versus the Cleveland Brownies. This game is in Cleveland. I've heard rumblings of people talking about the Cleveland Browns winning this game, and I could see why. I mean, Brett Hundley, he's not exactly going to light you up through the air, and the Browns defense is pretty good against the run, so maybe they'll force the Packers into a tight game. And then the Packers defense isn't very good now, and King is out for the year. Bringing in Josh Gordon, he might have make some plays down the field. The Browns could win this game. But I just think there's too much for the Packers to play for here for them to lose. They have to win this game in order to keep their hopes alive. And they know, Brett Hundley knows, Mike McCarthy knows, that this team is getting Aaron Rodgers back next week. And with Aaron Rodgers there, you never know. Magic could happen and they could make a run in the playoffs. So the Green Bay Packers will win this game. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be tight. And the Browns might even get their first victory of the season. But I think the Packers, at the end of the day, are going to grab it. That's why I'm picking the Packers. And, yeah, I just can't pick against a team that is desperate like the Packers. I think Mike McCarthy will have them going, and I think he'll have a good enough game plan like he did in overtime there against the Bucs, where he set up a couple of plays for Hundley to make some moves. I think that the Packers will take it in a close one.
Yeah, this is a game I'm not really looking forward to. Brett Hundley basically did not play a good game whatsoever against the Bucs up until that last drive. But they had a really good performance from Jamal Williams. He's rushing the ball like crazy lately, and that's been good for them because they've had a lot of injuries. If Aaron Rodgers comes back next week, which it looks to be the case, I don't think he would be very happy if they lost to the Browns right before this opportunity, because they got to win out to even have a chance here in the playoffs, the playoff race. And I think this was kind of like a gimme for everybody. They're like, here, take this victory, and I think they will. The Packers are slightly the better team, and they need this victory, like you said, a lot more than the Browns do. So if any game that they could win, it could be this one, but I don't see it. Going Packers. AC and Kev also have Packers.
All right, 49ers versus the Texans. Texans have been a team I've been down on ever since Watson left and he got hurt, and that's pretty much played its way through the entire season. Their defense has definitely taken a major step back from last year. Of course, they're missing Merciless and Watt and all that jazz, but their secondary has been their supreme weakness on that side of the ball. And then for the 49ers, they finally got some momentum. They beat the Bears in a very close game. Jimmy G had his first ever start for them. They love him. They love the confidence. They have a huge amount of confidence in him. And as one player said on the 49ers, just look at him. That's why he's good. Just look at him. Joe Montana is his nickname because he's the tannest quarterback in the NFL. I think Joe Montana gets the victory here. Jimmy G, with his second straight victory, he's going to put some numbers on the board, I think, in this game, as opposed to in the Bears game where he kind of toughed it out. He had nice passing yards totals, but wasn't able to get a touchdown. I think he throws his first ever touchdown pass in this game. I think he's actually going to throw 2, and I think he's going to have 300 yards, and the 49ers are going to take this game against the Texans. I'm going to say it's going to be 24-20.
Actually, Jimmy G threw his first touchdown against the Seahawks a couple weeks ago, that last drive. But
oh, that's right.
Yeah, but the first start.
That didn't start.
Yes, but no, but he
for the 49ers in his first in an actual start. There you go.
There you go. There's the correct stat. I picked the 49ers to win. Very happy about that selection. I think that the Bears are a better team right now than the Texans, so ergo I'm gonna pick the 49ers in this game. I like what Jimmy G does and brings to this team. Even if they win this game, it really wouldn't hurt their draft position, which is what I've been hearing. It's not really going to hurt their draft position because I don't think they'll win many more games after this. The Texans are not a very good team. Tom Savage is a terrible, 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 terrible quarterback, and they've got no other choice to try to kind of just roll with them. The defense has been depleted with all the injuries that they've got over there. Jimmy G, I think, is going to be looking for more of the stats, more to help him out in the process going forward. And he played decently well, but I think he's going to want more touchdowns than field goals this time around. And I think they'll get the job done. 49ers is my pick. AC and Kev also have 49ers, so I believe this is the first week we've all picked the 49ers in a game. I'm pretty sure this week. Good stuff.
All right. And the next game, I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans won. That's kind of surprising that nobody picked them. Raiders versus the Chiefs.
Ooh.
This is a big game. A lot of people aren't paying attention to this game because of the way that the Chiefs are playing and because the Raiders are the Raiders. They stink. This game is in Kansas City. The Raiders took the first one on Thursday Night Football in Oakland. Marcus Peters is suspended. He's not playing. Amari Cooper is not playing, who was massive in that first matchup. I'm going with the Chiefs for the simple fact that I think it's tough to beat a divisional opponent when you're this close for the second time in a season. And I think the Chiefs are at home, which typically Derek Carr has not played well there. But I think he won't have any issues. The Chiefs defense is freaking terrible. The Raiders defense is terrible as well. This should be a high scoring game. It should be a fun game. What I really liked from the Chiefs last week is that they got their offense back. Travis Kelce was rolling. Tyreek Hill was rolling. And I think that they'll be able to move the ball consistently in this game and maybe just enough to the point where they can win this one. They really, really need it. Both teams do. And I've been a little bit more impressed with the Raiders defense as of late and as well as their run game, but I don't think they've really played the quality of teams. They played some pretty shitty teams and just kind of squeaked by like Denver and the Giants. I think Kansas City here is desperate for this victory, and I think they're going to get it at home.
This is an interesting game. I don't really want to pick either team, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs can't stop a nosebleed on defense, but the thing is that I don't think the Raiders' offense is going to really go out there and burst for many points. I know I could have said the same thing about the Jets last week, and they scored 38 points. But McCown's doing something over there that I didn't really think it was going to be possible. The Chiefs really need this victory, like really, really need this victory, considering the Chargers are right on their ass. And the Raiders are tied with them right now. This is right now could be for the lead of the division. So with that in mind, the Chiefs need this win. They got it going on offense last week, which is something that they're going to need to win this game. 31 points would have beaten most teams last week, but it just wasn't able to get the job done against the Jets because of the defense. And I don't think the Raiders are going to be putting on the stops for that one. So going with the Chiefs. AC's got the Chiefs. Kev's got the Raiders, which I'm kind of shocked by considering I've never seen him side with the Raiders from anybody else here. But that's beside the point. I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, I almost went with the Raiders, but I just got to go with the Chiefs this week. I picked against them last week. This week, I'm picking with them. The Lions versus the Buccaneers. There is some reports about Matt Stafford. I've always believed that Matt Stafford's one of the toughest players in the league. He usually plays through stuff like this. Now, it doesn't help that his hand is hurt, and that's always difficult. And we saw how the Lions were at the end of the season last year when he was kind of banged up. They weren't nearly as good. But I think the Lions are a good enough team with a good enough offense to kind of expose the Bucs defense. They're on the road here, but and Jameis is back and didn't play too terrible against the Packers. And this should probably be a high-scoring game. But I just trust Matt Stafford to get this done. He should slice and dice this defense. And I like the way that Marvin Jones and Golden Tate have been playing. So I'm going to go with the Lions here. They're just a better team for me.
This is also another reason why I like filming the day after. Not a lot of times do I like doing it, but I've decided to change my pick from the Buccaneers to the Lions. The reason I picked the Bucs in the first place was because I didn't know the availability of Matthew Stafford, and I kind of questioned whether or not they were going to go out there and play to their best ability. But I'm still going to pick them over the Bucs. I just don't see a lot of confidence in the Buccaneers team. They're pretty much out of it. The Lions are clawing and scratching away for the playoffs. I don't think they'll make it, but they're trying. Mitch, I made this big stat about running backs that haven't.
Oh, really now?
Yes, I tweeted this out just a while ago. Running backs that have rushed for 100 yards or more since the last Lions running back to do so, which was Reggie Bush.
Wait. I'll give you a spotlight here. Go ahead.
These are the players that have gotten 100-plus yards for a team in one game since the last Lions player to do it, which was Reggie Bush, November 28th, 2013. This is not a full list, but these are some of my favorites, okay? Bobby Rainey, Daniel Thomas, Jordan Todman, Zach Stacy, Bryce Brown, Colin Kaepernick, Niall Davis, Ben Tate, Trey Mason, Alfred Blue, Jonas Gray, Matt Jones, Spencer Ware, Marcus Mariota, Johnny freaking Manziel, Christine Michael, Fozzie Whitaker, Rob Kelly, Corey Grant, and Rex Burkhead. Those were some of my favorites to come off of this list. But it's incredible.
You just said Rex Burkhead like he's not good.
He is good, but come on, do we really expect him to rush for 100 yards the whole time?
Hey, what about Jonas Gray? Did you say Jonas Gray?
Jonas Gray was on that.
He did not only get 100 yards, but he got 200 yards.
That was his only 100-yard rushing performance.
He was a beast, and I think he scored 4 touchdowns too.
Yeah, that was a great game. I can't believe it. All those names. Johnny Manziel has a 100-yard rushing performance in the NFL more recently than the Lions do.
And did you go over the Lions' track record, like Javid Best and?
I still have
Kevin
that,
Smith.
I have that picture here. Let me find that out. Yes. Okay. So, where did I place it? I just had it. Now it's a leading game, you see. Okay, I found it.
Okay, I'll give you the spotlight.
Here's the 7 people that have rushed for 100 yards since Matthew Stafford came into the league in 2009. Kevin Smith, 101 yards against Washington back in September of 2009. Jahavid Best in October of 2011, 163 yards. That's the most they've had since Stafford is in there. Kevin Smith once again in November of 2011, 140 yards. Michael LaShore in 2012. I didn't think that was going to come up. 100 yards exactly in their only loss when they don't have 100 or when they have 100 yards rushing. And then the last 3 have all been Reggie Bush in 2013. 139 yards, 105 yards, 117 yards. I can't. I don't understand it, but it's incredible. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, bro. I knew Reggie Bush, like Michael LaShore. Are you kidding me?
Michael LaShore. Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. All right. The Dallas Cowboys take on the New York G-Men, and Eli Manning is back starting for them New York Giants. In this game, there is no what's his name? What do they call him? The Jackrabbit? Is that what they call him?
The Jackrabbit.
I think that's what they call him.
I call him the Trash Man, but
the Trash Man. Who are you talking about?
Are you talking about Geno Smith?
I'm talking about Janoris Jenkins.
I thought you were talking about
the Jackrabbit, bro.
The Jackrabbit.
Not playing. Des Bryant should have a decent game here. Alfred Morris has been playing well. He's been showing the burst for Dilly Vanilli. I think the Cowboys need this victory a ton more. They're still looking for a playoff spot with Zeke coming back. They have a light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's reason enough for them to win. Also, talking about their defense, I think they're going to absolutely maul Eli Manning with their D-line. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys need this victory a lot. We got to win out to even get a chance at the playoffs. I think Dak is going to play well. Alfred Morris played a really good game against Washington. He's shown his abilities out there, playing well. The defense is getting back Sean Lee, which I think is a key. And like you said, I think DeMarcus Lawrence, who by the way leads the league in sacks, and David Irving, I think they're going to create a lot of tension here, to disrupt whatever Eli is going to do. I think it'll be a good game for the Cowboys. It'll be a good showing. They got 2 more games without Zeke before he comes back in that Christmas Eve game against the Seahawks. And they need to win the next 2 games for it to be an important game for both teams. Going with the Cowboys. AC has the Cowboys. Kev disrespected my team and picked with the Giants, but you know what? That is the reason why he's in 3rd place. So I will let him be in 3rd place there. Okay.
Okay. And the upset of the week. The Arizona Cardinals with the Magic Man Blaine Gabbert is going to beat the Tennessee Titans at home. I'm going to give you some reasons why. The Cardinals are one of the best teams against the run. They're going to shut down DeMarco Murray and Henry and Marcus Mariota. Let's check his stats real quick, Dilly Vanilli, because you couldn't believe this when I told you what his statistics were. Yes. We had to look this up.
We're going to look it up right now, actually. Here we go. Marcus Mariota stats, 208 completions and 329 attempts, 2,423 yards.
Okay, I'm not concerned about that part. What's the next part?
10 touchdowns and 12
touchdowns. And how many? 12 Okay, this guy's terrible. All right. 10 touchdowns, 12 This isn't 1968, okay? All right.
Wait, okay. Can I ask a question, though?
Yeah.
How many games have the Titans played? 12?
They played 12. He doesn't have a touchdown in every game.
So he hasn't thrown for a touchdown.
And I bet he had games where he had like 3 touchdowns.
Didn't he miss a game too?
Yeah, he missed 1 game, I think.
Okay, so that'll take. So he's
but I think he's had a game like against the Colts where he threw for like 3 touchdowns. So like if you take that game away, imagine what his actual like touchdown interception ratio is.
Actually, I want to figure
this out. It could be like 6 to like 12. Like I don't even know what it is. That's terrible. Actually, the Cardinals are going to win this game. Larry Fitz is going to have another nice game. Had a huge game last week. And I think that Adrian Peterson and I really like what Blake Gabbert has given them. I've said all the time that he's better than Stanton. He might even be better than Carson Palmer. He can move around. And I think they'll be able to. This is a Pittsburgh matchup as well because Dick LeBeau, defensive coordinator of Tennessee, Bruce Arians came from Pittsburgh. So I think there's some familiarity there. I'm just going to go with the home team, going with the team that I think is playing decent football. They had a rough start to the season, but they've kind of been coached up and they're playing decent. And I just think the Titans are the worst 8-4 team I've ever seen in my life.
I'm looking at the stats, Mitch. Looking at those big time stats. He has thrown for 2 touchdowns in 2 games this season. So 2 games, he has 4 touchdowns. The rest of
and who was that against, if I would ask?
The 2 that it was against were the Ravens when they won 23-20, and the Seattle Seahawks.
Interesting. Very interesting. Who are you picking in this game?
I'm picking the Titans. I see where the upset city could be up for grabs in this one. But I think it's another example of you going a little too far on the perimeter and trying to go with the upset here. I'm going to stick with the Titans. I don't think they're the best team on the planet, but I don't think the Cardinals are that great. We saw Blaine Gabbert's performance last week. It wasn't very good. Yes, he did beat the Jags, but I don't think it's going to happen again. I think the run game is going to get it done for Tennessee. They got Derrick Henry. They got DeMarco Murray. I think they're going to go off and put up some good performances. I think that'll be enough to get rid of the Cardinals and improve the record to 9-4 because they got to win here. Because if Jacksonville wins, they're still right up there in that division. So, gonna go with the Titans.
If I could correct you, he's not gonna beat the Jaguars again because he doesn't play them again.
Well, I'm saying,
I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
All right, the New York Jets play the Denver Broncos in Denver. I'm going with the Jets because Luke McCown is a freaking boss. He's the AFC Player of the Week. Woo! He's a baller. And apparently the Jets want him to be the starting quarterback next year. I don't blame them. But the biggest point, I could give you 2 sentences why. The Denver Broncos got smoked by the Dolphins. That's all I'm going to say. I'm picking the Jets.
I told y'all the Broncos were losing against the Dolphins. Well, I didn't have any reason to pick them, but regardless. The Broncos are a dumpster fire right now. They have a lot of problems in the office and everything that they got to deal with right now. It ain't looking so hot, except for the dumpster fire, of course. The Jets, McCown's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how he's got this team to 5-7. Could be 6-6 if they had won that game against the Dolphins, but they threw that interception. Regardless, he looks pretty good out there. He's making big plays. Like you said, AFC Player of the Week. 38 points on the Chiefs. I mean, even if the Chiefs can't stop a nosebleed, that's still pretty impressive with this Jets team. I'm picking the Jets. I think they're the better team. They look better. And they got a little bit more effort, and that's why I think they'll put it in because they want the effort. They're trying. The Broncos are not trying anymore. AC has the Broncos, and Kev has the Jets.
He always picks against the Jets. He's a Jets hater.
I don't think he's ever picked for the Jets this season. I don't think he's picked the Jets once this season.
And the next game. Chargers are going to beat the Washington Redskins at home. They're going to the playoffs, as I've said every single week of this entire season. I sit here, I say it, and it comes true because I'm the Oracle, all right? The Chargers are going to win this game against the Washington Redskins, even though, I will say this, the Washington Redskins have beat every single team that is from California this year, except for this one, because Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram are going to scream off that edge in front of Kirk Cousins' face. He has 2 left guards playing tackle, and he's going to get fucked up. Keenan Allen is playing well. Phillip Rivers is playing like a beast. The Chargers are to the offs.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with this statement. They're probably going to win their division, unfortunately, which will still make my point correct that the Ravens are going to make the wild card. So I'll take the tie. The collapse of the Chiefs is ridiculous, but we're talking about the Chargers. They're looking good. They're looking hot. Keenan Allen's absolutely on fire right now. And like you said, they've got 2 rushers that are going to absolutely destroy Kirk Cousins because of the offensive line problems and injury concerns for the Redskins. I like Kirk Cousins. I think he's a good solid.
I do too, but it's tough, man.
But I don't think he's going to like the pressure that's going to come to him on Sunday. I don't think he's going to like that at all.
I don't think anyone would.
He's a tough guy, but I don't think he's gonna like that.
I do want to. We're missing Kevol for this, but do the Chargers still have tickets available for this game?
You know, I'm pretty sure they've got about half the stadium ready to go, still available for seating on StubHub.
I wonder why that is. Maybe they feel like there's going to be a last-second concert or something. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. They got who's a guy from LA? they got some low one, small guy on the radar there. Coming to go over there, but I'm gonna pick the Chargers. Everybody's got the Chargers on this team. Yeah, I like Kirk, but it's not gonna get it done. I'm gonna check. Right. I'm gonna check those tickets real quick.
And probably the game of the week: the Seattle Seahawks versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maybe the game of the week. Maybe just to me because I'm a secret Jaguars fan. I'm going with the Jaguars. I just gave you my answer. Yes. Russell Wilson is a beast. Yes. He might be the MVP. Yes. It's tough to prepare for him, and it's tough to stop him by himself because he's doing it by himself right now. But the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is a defense that Russell Wilson has not seen this year. It's also a tough running attack to deal with for the Seahawks, and I think that the Jaguars will pull out a very close one at the end of the game. The defense is ferocious. They're going to get after them. They have too many playmakers out there. Their corners will shut down whatever's going on for that passing attack. The key here is going to be, can Jimmy Graham have a nice day? And then I think the Seahawks have a good chance of winning. But if he doesn't, man, they're in trouble because the Jaguars are coming after you. They're shutting you down. And Jalen Ramsey is having none of it. I don't know if you saw the interview. Dilly, did you see the interview with Jalen Ramsey?
I did not.
Bro, I got to pull it up.
Is it a great interview?
Pull it up. I'm going with the Jaguars. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
Okay.
But you can go ahead.
Seahawks, Jags. We're doing live reactions to this game on Sunday. This is our big one we're going to be showing. Well, we're not going to show the game. We're going to show our reactions, of course. I have to tell that every time. I'm picking the Jaguars. The defense, I think, is going to get it done. If you think that the Seattle offensive line struggles have been showing out before this game, they're definitely going to be showing during this game because the Jags defensive line is going to absolutely obliterate the Seahawks offensive line. I know they've got Russell Wilson, but I'm putting my money on right now. The Jaguars are going to get 5 sacks on Russell Wilson. 5 sacks at least. on Russell Wilson. He can rush as long as he can, run 40 yards the opposite direction, try to maneuver his way up the field. But the Jags are going to win this game because the defense is too good. Okay, play this interview.
Really? Is it a saving? Can it be a saving? Yeah, it is. Can it be a saving game for you guys? Because of who they are. What's their record? Same as yours. Former Super Bowl champs, perennial playoff contender. All right, we were sorry last year, but we're not this year. Talking about last year. Y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all gotta stop doing that, man. The media, y'all do that too much. Y'all be hyping people up. Y'all hype teams up. Stop doing that, man. Y'all gotta stop doing that. It's a new year. It's a new week. Everything. It's new big dogs in around the NFL. All right, stop doing that. Stop hyping people up.
The Seahawks up.
He goes, that was last year. We were sorry last year. He's right, though. They were right.
All right. You know a team that was sorry last year?
What's that?
The Philadelphia Eagles and LA Rams.
Oh,
they're good this year. Yes, they're contenders, all right?
Mm-hmm.
In this game, it's the Goff versus the Wentz Bowl.
Ooh.
I'm going with Carson Wentz in this game. I just think he's going to make a couple of more plays. I think the Eagles are going to have a couple of runs to get going their offense this week against the Rams defense, who has difficulty stopping the run. And I think the Eagles defense has a point to prove after some things happened last week. I think their D-line is going to dominate this game, and I think the Eagles are going to pull off the upset in L.A. Carson Wentz making some plays this week.
This is time for Dilly Vanilli's gutsy call of the week. I'm going with the Rams.
They're favored.
No, but really, are people picking the Rams? How many people are picking the Rams?
You?
How many other people do you know are picking the Rams?
Probably AC.
No, actually, nobody on this chat is picking the Rams besides me.
Well, they are favored.
Wait, why would AC pick the Rams, though?
Because he is a mush.
He's humble. I'm going with the Rams. I know they're favored, but I know still a lot of people are thinking, though, the Eagles are going to come back and make a performance, and they could. They definitely could, but this is what I call a gutsy call of the week. Actually, there's one more that could also be favored in this, so I'll call this part one gutsy call. I think the Rams have showed themselves to be a legit team. They played really, really well. A couple of weeks ago against the Saints, they were able to basically stop the Saints until that last drive, and then they still were able to hold on to that game. They're playing well. Sean McVay, I think, should be getting recognition for head coach of the year, and they're just getting everything clicking with the offense. I think Cooper Kupp is going to have another big game. The defense, I think, is going to just stop some big plays during key situations, and I think the Rams win in a close one. This will be a very good game as well. But I'm gonna go with the Rams just barely.
EAGLES Eagles. Okay.
I thought you were a Cowboys fan at one point. I don't.
All right. I like the Cowboys, but I haven't liked them as much since Tony left. I got a sweet spot for Tony.
You were Tony. You were a Tony guy. Okay.
I'm a Tony guy.
Maybe eat some frosted. Eat a Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger. Just keep eating those, buddy.
I'm kind of forced to be a little bit of a Cowboys fan because my dad's been a Cowboys fan since
Coach
inception. That's how old he is.
Nate.
The Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a huge game in the AFC North. This is going to be a tough, old school football game here. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a close one. But I just don't trust Joe Flacco enough to make enough plays against the weakness of the Steelers, which is their secondary, to win this one. I think the Ravens just don't have enough in that passing game. And they haven't convinced me enough. Yes, they can run the ball decently, and yes, their defense is really good, and it should be a close defensive ball game, and they should be one of the teams that stifles the Pittsburgh offense. But I just can't trust Joe Flacco. He's brutal. If Bortles is the 70th worst quarterback, Joe Flacco is probably the 32nd.
Gutsy call number 2. I'm picking the Ravens. These are always highly contested divisional matchups. I think they're very good, and Pittsburgh obviously has a chance to win. But I think Pittsburgh's head has always been in the thinking process of going to New England and not really focusing on the matchups ahead. They really should focus on this game, though, because the Ravens are, they're in that wild card race. They want to take out their division rival. It's a big game. Mike Tomlin has coached now 25 primetime games, 7 losses that he has, for them come against Baltimore. I think it's a big matchup. A lot of things are at stake for the Ravens, and I think they want to solidify themselves. And I think that the Ravens are going to have to play good defense. The last 3 games the Steelers have played have been finished by field goals from Chris Boswell. I think the Ravens will be able to get some good games or get a good game out of their collective unit and win this one on Sunday.
I will say this, Dilly, in your favor. If the Steelers start the game they did last week, the same way they did last week, they're going to lose. They're not going to come back on the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there. So,
yeah. There you go.
Okay. Monday Night Football. The New England Patriots take on the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number 0. Okay. The Patriots are going to hopefully destroy the Dolphins. It's going to be a tougher test than it was a couple weeks ago. This one is on the road. This is in prime time. You always know the Monday night underdog at home is always a tough one to play against. And this is a different quarterback this time, different challenge. You got Jay Cuddy instead of Matty Moore, and Rob Gronkowski's not playing. So there's a couple of things. But you know who is playing Dilly Vanilli?
Who's that?
Dun, 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 dun. The Hulkster is back, and he's going to run wild on the Miami Dolphins, as well as Deion Lewis and Rex Burkhead. The Patriots are going to win this game once again in another blowout setup there. A little bit of tune-up game.
A little bit of a tune-up.
Next week. They're going to win 31-13.
31 to what? I didn't hear the last word.
13. Flip the number.
Can I pitch a Kevel here? I want to do a Kevel. What if the Patriots lose? No, I'm kidding. The Patriots aren't going to lose this game.
Might.
No, I'm sorry. The Patriots cannot lose this game. The Dolphins are one of the worst 5-win teams I've ever seen in the history of the league. The Patriots are still very good, even without Gronk. Gronk is suspended. It's a conspiracy because Juju and Mr. Gronk are being suspended right before that big matchup between the Patriots and the Steelers. You know it. But I think it'll be a good, like you said, tune-up for the Patriots to get their job done. Mr. Hogan, Chris Hogan coming back. It's going to be pretty sound, pretty clean win for the Patriots. You know what? I'll go the score 28-10. I'll go 28-10 on this one.
So you basically just gave 3 points each side off.
Pretty much, but you know what? I'll take it.
Dilly, what's the chat looking like?
The chat. I was looking to see if the Seahawks-Jaguars game was on my TV, and it's not this week, so we're going to have to be on stream.
Oh, goodness fucking gracious.
We're going to be
oh, my stream's off again.
But was I getting plays faster than you, though? Take the wink there. Okay, let's see who's in the chat. Ridge Gameplay says hi. Hi.
Adios.
Deshaun Drakeford says, Buccaneers are going to beat the Detroit Lions 27-20. I almost picked the Bucks, so there you go, almost there. He also says hello, but only to you. I don't know why. Bodo says hello.
What's up, bro?
Kind of messed up.
Fuck Dylan.
No. He says, by the way, New England can clinch the AFC title
with
a
AFC
win.
East title.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
He did that wrong, yeah.
I was like, I don't think he can do that. But yeah, AFC East title with a win. Well, what the Patriots have 10 wins, 10 wins, and the Dolphins have 5. That's the closest. And Jets? Or no, Bills have 6.
Bills have 6.
Okay. Jordan says Steelers rout the Ravens. Ooh, I don't know about that. Bodo says Tyrod is.
If they're really good, then maybe they will.
Bodo says Tyrod is not playing this week. Is that true?
I don't know.
If that's true,
I might change my pick. But I still change
my pick.
I still think the Colts going into Buffalo is going to be tough, no matter who the quarterback is, because it might be snowing. So that game could be just like I have no idea.
And Peterman played against the Chargers the last time, who admittedly have a really good defense, and they're playing the Colts, who have still nobody.
I don't know. But Peterman did not look good against the Patriots either, so I will say that.
No, he's trash. But those are 2 good teams. We're talking about the Colts here. So
yeah, I know.
Take those stats and then minimize them maybe to a half. You know what I mean? Like just minimize. Deshaun says, I'm picking the Vikings in a close one, 34-30. You think it's a high-scoring game? Okay. Bodo says Minnesota's winning 28-16. Deshaun says he's picking the Giants over Dallas, and I'm gonna have to come over to your wherever you live and punch you in the face. No, not really, but come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Revenge game, Eli.
No. Jets.
Are you scared a little about the Eli revenge factor?
Not one bit.
Not one bit. Okay.
Not one bit. They're terrible. RVDECW, my favorite username on the site. Do you feel that Peyton Manning not being able to beat Tom Brady in New England in January should be held against him?
Honestly, I can't say that because it would go against Brady as well, because Brady lost in Indy and Denver a couple of times too. Well, he lost in Indy once and Denver a couple of times.
He says, he continues, he says, because every time he beat New England in the playoffs, he had to have home field. He could never beat Brady on the road.
I think Peyton is the third best quarterback of all time. And you could argue he's the second best quarterback of all time. But I think he's the third best quarterback.
I think he is as well. Maybe there's a slight hint to something. But I got Peyton as my number 3 quarterback all the time.
Honestly, it doesn't hurt him. He's in the top 3.
Bodo says Cincinnati 20-13 win. Deshaun almost follows it up by saying 20-14.
Wow,
that's almost
a close one.
That was almost some fucking bullshit. Bodo says Green Bay wins 24-10. Jimmy Hansman says if Browns go 0-16, they will have a parade. Yes, this has actually been commissioned. They're going to have a parade.
Seriously?
Yeah, they have gotten a setup. They actually have a sponsor too. I forgot who was the sponsor. Starts with an A.
The Detroit Lions?
Well, no, that would be great. We're gonna give you've taken the ranks. No, that would be great. I don't know who's.
I'm pretty sure this Browns team would be considered the worst team of all time if they were to go in 16.
Absolutely, which is sad because we talked about how
a game in like 2 years.
They haven't won a Sunday game in 2 years. If they don't win on Sunday, they haven't won a Sunday game in 2 years.
God.
They last won on Christmas Eve, 2016.
Oh,
against your Chargers, buddy. Against your Chargers.
Of course they did. Because the Chargers fuck it up.
Bodo is the one. It's Excedrin. Excedrin is the it starts with an E, but that's the sponsor. That's funny. Deshaun says I'm picking Houston 20-10. I wonder why. Your name's Deshaun. It's not spelled the same way, but I'm just making a joke. Bodo says 49ers win 20-7-16. Irving gave us $2, so we're gonna.
Thanks, bro. He gave us $2 as well on the recap, I believe.
Oh, so I'm gonna buy I'm gonna have to find 7 cents, but I'll find me a sody pop, and we'll cheer onto that one. Cheers. Do I start Marquise Lee or Deshaun Jackson in fantasy? Says Jeremy.
Ooh, I would probably go. Marquise Lee's playing well, but I would go Deshaun Jackson.
I'll go with Deshaun. I have Deshaun too, so that's why I would pick him.
I don't know how Deshaun's doing as of late, though. I haven't paid too much attention to the Bucks.
He's been all right. Like he's been I think more consistent than Evans the last couple weeks. Just the last couple weeks, but
maybe Marquise Lee. I don't know. I'd actually have to think about that one.
Flip a coin. No, you can't do that. We're not allowed.
But I just don't think Bortles going to get a lot done. You never know, though.
Against the Seahawks too. Well, I mean the Seahawks have a lot of depletion. So, Deshaun says Josh Gordon will have 4 receptions for 100 yards. So 25 per reception.
I could see it.
Yeah. Bodo, no way in hell is the score going to be 27 Giants, Dallas 12. That's just no. It's not going to happen.
Maybe.
No. Jordan has it 15-9 Cowboys. At least he has the Cowboys winning.
15-9.
That'd be the worst game of the year.
I don't want to watch that game. I'm just putting that out there now.
That'd be awful. Deshaun says 27-20 Cowboys win, so a much more watchable game.
If Eli scores 20 points on you guys, you're not making the playoffs.
Fucking hell, I hope not. He only the Giants only scored 17, but that wasn't with Eli, so I don't know. Bodo says Denver will lose by 8. Let's get a couple more here. The Seahawks Jags picks. We got Go Skittles saying that the Hawks will win. By the way, great. I love that name.
Also, his name is Go Skittles. I wonder where that comes from.
It's weird.
Marshawn.
Go Skittle. Oh, I love it. That's great.
I'm pretty sure it does. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is good, man. He does have the Patriots logo, so yeah. Colin says Seahawks. Trevor has 21-17 Jags. Deshaun 24-20 Jags. Some good picks there. Let's see here. Bodo says we need to do live reactions at the 49ers and Texans game. I'd have to be paid the big bucks to watch that one for 3 hours. I tell you that much. Yeah, give me a swig of the apple juice there. I tell you what.
Bro.
Bodo says he voted for the Eagles Rams. Sorry, buddy. Majority beat the contest there. So, let's see here. A couple more stuff going on here. James White, 11 rushes for. He didn't say how many touchdowns, but he said 4 touchdowns. So, James White getting touchdowns, babe. Have we? Go Skittle says, have we seen the Infinity War trailer? I have not.
Yes, it's sick.
I want to see it.
Although I think that Cap might die. Not sure. I think he might die.
You're spoiling everything. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. I just have this feeling he might die.
This is a great name. Carolina Coaster Liam says, when will be the next time the Browns win their division?
2072.
The philosophers have talked about this for many times. Confucius, Galileo. They lived. Galileo lived in the 1600s. I don't think anybody will ever figure this out. I'm gonna say 2147. 2147 is my answer.
Okay, I have 2072.
So I've almost doubled your time there.
Yes.
I love it. Go Skittle says, Dylan, leave and watch it now. Iron Man will die, I think. Well, awesome.
I got Cap.
You got Cap. I don't want anybody to die. Fuck. All right. That is it for comments. So thank you guys for being on our show this week, expressing your feelings, your picks, Infinity War, Go Skittles, everything in between.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to our second run of the Week 14 preview and predictions. It's been Mitch and Dilly Vanilli. Stay tuned for a big project on Christmas.
Woo!
Peace out.
Peace.